Food, Glorious Food, the opening number from Oliver, is a well-known staple of the musical theater canon. With its lilting melody, its classical musical progression, the fanciful word choices, and the resounding chorus of baby youthful singers. It's a song that has been utilized and referenced and parodied since it first landed on the stage in the early 1960s. The year depends on where we're talking about, which country and which production. But what is it about the song that makes it so classic? Just classic. And how does it introduce us to the world in which the story is being constructed? The world that we are going to enter into to follow Oliver and this cast of characters. How does the construction of the song pull us in and through? And most of all, why is it such an earworm? It will not go away once you get it in your head. I decided to do this live stream and it's been in my head ever since. So let's break it down and let's find out. Hi everyone! But first, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Michael Ratty, aka Musical Theater Writer Guy, and I talk all about musical theater writing and musical theater storytelling and creation, always through the lens of talking to writers, but anyone who fancies themselves a creator, an originating artist in the musical theater, this channel and this information is for you. So, if you're joining me live, please feel free to ask questions throughout our time together or to offer reflections. I'm always happy to hear them. For those of you joining me on the replay, please give a comment, and I do respond to every comment whenever I can. If nothing else, I'll definitely give it a little like and make sure that you know that I saw it. The format of these live streams, the way we've been doing these song analysis videos, is that we will walk through this song today. We will talk about the song placement, what it's doing, what the lyrics are doing, how the music works, how the character and the world building works. We talk about anything and everything we possibly can as we go through. Now, I had chosen, and at the end of the live stream, if people are around and they would like to, please feel free to ask me questions about anything. I do a little open Ask Me Anything portion as well. Most of these song analysis videos are kind of off the cuff. I prep a little bit ahead of time. I choose songs that I like and I know. Well, maybe not always like and know. But so far, yes, that's been the answer. But the list is growing, so don't you worry. Sometimes there will be songs on there I don't like or I don't know very well. I gotta go digging. But this song came about specifically because in the poll I had put on the channel, I think 2 weeks ago, I had asked what kind of songs you all are most interested in hearing me break down and analyze. And the resounding response was definitely for classical musical theater. And it was group songs over famous solos, which shocked me a little bit, but here we are. So we're going to start playing through on some of them. If you have suggestions of specific songs you would like analyzed and broken down, please send them my way. You can DM me, you can email me, go to michaelwright.com. You can find out how to contact me if you'd like to do it that way, or right here, put a comment on YouTube. And without further ado, let us dive in to this delightful moment. I'm getting a little notification here. Not important. Great. Onward. Food, Glorious Food. Okay, so this is the beginning of Oliver. If you don't know Oliver, I don't know how you don't know Oliver. But if you don't know Oliver, it is a musical that is based upon the Charles Dickens book, Oliver Twist. And it's relatively faithful to the book. So if you know the story of Oliver Twist, you know the story of Oliver. There's more character development, I think, of some of the darker characters, let's call them, in the musical, at least the ones that we focus on. But there's not the broad swath of characters that the book offers. So this song, it's really the opening of the show. There's a quick little overture and a quick little scene, and we set up that we are within an orphanage. But like, it's super fast. We go straight into this, essentially. But this is, imagine for me, a large open space, represented by a stage, with tons of small children, being in sad clothing in an orphanage, all very hungry and being led regimented through this food routine. And we begin with music that definitely gives us a feeling that we're not doing something particularly fun. It's a lot of this. A lot of time it's staged where the children are marching to the beat as they walk through the line to get their food. And then they all sing. Is it worth the waiting for? If we live till 84, all we'll ever get is gruel. Every day we say a prayer. Will they change the bill of fare? Still we get the same old gruel. There's not a crust, not a crumb we can find. Can we beg? Can we borrow or cadge? But there's nothing to stop us from getting a thrill when we all close our eyes and imagine. I'm not gonna play it yet. I'm very rude. Okay, what do we get? What do we get thus far? Da, 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 da. Already at this point in the musical theater canon, we're getting the sense that that kind of ascending chromatic pattern, when it comes back down, whether it comes back down or not, is going to be a staple in musical theater sound, and it truly is, especially throughout the 60s and 70s. Kendra and Ebb love using that one. But one of the nice things that it does for us is it really kind of shows the monotony. Right? It's not changing. Their lives aren't changing. It's same old, same old. It's a really nice parallel there. Also, then we deflate to return. Right? We're never really getting a sense that we can go anywhere yet. So, where does that change? That changes down here after there's not a crust, not a crumb we can find, but we're still descending. Beg, can we borrow or catch? Now here's the real change. We're going to ascend for the first time as we go into this idea of, but we can imagine something better, right? The lift, which means we actually kill that staccato beat, and we're going to have a lifting melody. Nothing can stop us from getting a thrill when we all close our eyes and imagine. And that's how we're going to get out of that terrible, horrible, just sinking. The monotony of it all. Right? Let's look at the lyric for a moment here. Is it worth the waiting for? If we live till 84, all we'll ever get is gruel. I've heard it both ways, by the way, gruel and gruel. I don't know. Does it really need two syllables at all? I think only if you're trying to give a nod to the word cruel without saying cruel, which I think is what we're doing here. Every day we say a prayer, will they change the bill of fare? Just want to throw out, that's a hard lyric to understand, it's a hard lyric to sing, and also, do children know the phrase bill of fare? We're going to talk about the lyrics a lot today. Still, we get the same old gruel, and that's where we get that higher lift. Gruel, there's not a crust, not a crumb we can find. Can we beg, can we borrow, or cadge? Anyone know what cadge means? I feel like a lot of people don't know what cadge means. I didn't know what cadge meant. I had to look it up. I could guess based on the context clues. I had to look it up eventually. But there's nothing to stop us from getting a thrill when we all close our eyes and imagine. Right? Cadge is only there for the imagine rhyme, and imagine kind of goes on, kind of? No, it does go on past the adge sound. So, it's a little funky lyrically, but the music's doing a great job of setting us up. Let's go to the part we all know. Why am I stalling? I'm not stalling. How dare you? I guess I'm in a funky mood today, friends. Here we go. Imagine food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard, while we're in the mood, cold jelly and custard, peas, pudding, and saveloys. What Next is the question. Rich gentlemen have it, boys, in digestion. Food, glorious food, we're anxious to try it. 3 banquets a day, our favorite diet. Just picture a great big steak, fried, roasted, or stewed. Oh, food, wonderful food, marvelous food, glorious food. And then we're gonna go on and do more of the song, but there you go. 1 chorus through. That's a melody we all know, or at least to an extent know. If I were to just sing at you, food, glorious food, you probably would know that. You may even be able to hum the rest of that tune. Ba da 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 ta ta ba 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 ba. But would you know the rest? And how important is that to know the rest? Pardon me while I take a sip of water. It's a great question. We're going to explore that today. So, what do we have here? We have this gorgeous little melody, right? We're going to the 7th. Why? We're in C major, by the way, in case you were curious. Food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard. So, C, 7, minor 7, 6. We lower the 6 and return to the 5th. What does the 5th make us want to do? Go right back up to the root. Right? There's something about that melody that, despite the fact that it feels so fanciful, feels like, the sigh of imagination. We're having this moment where we are imagining the thing we really want with this release feeling. And we get that right there in the melody. Da, 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 da. It sounds like yearning. It's great. It's well done. While at the same time, it's prepping us for a cycle, right? We could keep doing that on and on, right? To the point where, like, yeah, that's what they're doing. These children who are starving are constantly imagining food. This is how they make it through the day without starving. They imagine themselves filled with food because they don't have enough food, right? So we're getting a sense of that cycle, that thing that's keeping us somewhere that we can't really reach beyond, but we're doing it in a very different way from this, right? Instead it's... Now, does anything change in those 2 bars, right? Accompaniment-wise, melody-wise, no. It's the same thing. Both times. We're going to go somewhere else after. We're not going to keep doing it on repeat because that would be what? Say it with me. Boring. It also wouldn't tell us anything. But we are going to, as we continue, go back to our root. We're just going to do it in a different way. Instead of being up here melodically, we're going to be down here on the 3rd, and we're going to do more things. Great. Just want to talk about this musical construction for a moment, friends. Here we are. A nice root chord. Then we get a 5 minor with a minor 7. So even though we're singing the 7th of the key, da, 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 we're not doing this, we're doing this, and then we go there. So we're getting another flavor, that there's always going to be a little bit of minor tucked within the major, which happens throughout this entire score. It's actually priming the ear very, very well here. So da 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 da, minor to a major 7, or major C with a minor 7, right? Hot sausage. We are going to our 4, but like deconstructed because we're going to move fast, right? Da, 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 da. That's actually something we rarely do. I talked about this in a recent live stream, where we rarely, no, not in a live stream, this was in one of the videos. We rarely utilize the 7 chord, I mean the 7th degree, the chord that is the 7th degree, when we're writing music in major, because it's diminished naturally, right? Here we are, that's the C, but if we're going down, that's a B, a D, and an F. So a little diminishment there. But we're doing that even over its 3rd. So it's kind of like this, are we giving a nod to the minor 2 chord, or are we really sitting on that diminished 7? I think we are sitting on the diminished, but anyone can argue with me here. So we've got the 4 into the 7. Then we're back to 5. But our 5 is major this time with our minor 9 that resolves. So what does that do for us? It provides a sense of the musical world, yes, absolutely, but also provides a little bit of wistfulness, and it gives us a sense that the movement will feel good on the ear, but maybe slightly unexpected. Not totally unexpected, but slightly. So that's gorgeous. Broken it down. Here we go. We're going to say looking at the lyric for a moment. So after our cool jelly and custard, we get to this peas, pudding, and saveloys. What next is the question? Rich gentlemen have it, boys, indigestion. And then we're going to come back to food. Which means, friends, if you have not picked up on it yet, we are doing an AB 32-bar chorus. Now, the way this is written out in this particular first time through, the lento section, it's actually written out as 16 bars, not 32, but once we kick it up into our halftime feel for the other 2 choruses, it's 32. So, our B section starts, again, on our root, but now we're pulling in some of that sound from the opening, where we had that. Pull that in the bass line here. Peas, pudding, and saveloys. Just a little nod. A reminder of where we are, what we're doing, right? Peas, pudding. Who doesn't love a little lift? And throwing in a 7. What is that? That's a diminished 7. So diminished is going to be a part of our musical language in this show. You get a center right away. Peas, pudding, and saveloys. But always resolving to something familiar, getting down to our 5/7 chord, right? What next is the... another of that little half-step lift, the minor move. But that's one that feels very familiar to us, right? Then we have our rich. We're going to do essentially the same thing, but we're going to lift it up a little bit higher. We're going to start on the minor 3 this time, right? Do you see these little half sections within each section? We get these little mini phrases in each of these AB sections here. Rich gentlemen have it, boys. Nothing fancy here. We're doing minor 3, add a 7, going to our minor 6, right? Then we're going to our 2, we're going to make it major, put a 7 in, because we have to wrap back around to our C chord, right? Yes, music nerds, are you with me? Of course you are. Here we are. And back to our 5, so we have food, glorious food, we know how this goes now. Then we're going to start our second B, our B prime, which has to wrap around to a conclusion of some sort. The same way, just picture a great big steak, but we're gonna keep the A going, even though we're going to our 7 chord. It's no longer a 7, or excuse me, to our 5 chord. It's no longer with a 7, it's with a 9. So we can lift higher. We're not going to our minor 3, we're gonna keep writing. roasted, or stewed. Oh, food. Whoops. Food, wonderful food. Fabulous food, glorious food. And it wraps back around to the C like we were doing before. Lovely. One new chord in that section. Just one. So fried or roasted or stewed. It's this one. What are we doing here? That a little A flat major? Yeah. That's 7. Why? Because it's fun, right? It pulls the ear. It says, oh, we're going to do something different. We're going to do something special. And that wraps us back around to the end, right? Oh, food, wonderful food, marvelous food, glorious food. Great. Lyricists, my apologies for talking all music to begin with, but let's dive into the lyric of this thing, shall we? So, food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard. While we're in the mood, cold jelly and custard. It's a cute little imagination moment, right? Hot sausage, mustard, cold jelly, custard. We get our lovely double rhymes here for food, mood, mustard, custard. Great. A section. Our B. Our B is in an ABAB like this. We're probably going to add a little bit to the idea, right? We've got our hook twice already, food, glorious food. So now let's add a little bit more. Where can we go with this idea? Peas, pudding, and saveloys. What's a saveloy? I forgot to look that up. What next is the question? Rich gentlemen have it, boys. Indigestion. Okay, so we've got our double rhyme there on saveloys and have it, boys. Not a perfect rhyme, though. Right? Because saveloys, have it, boys. It's cute, though. It works. But we're getting a sense the musical language will include both perfect rhyme and imperfect rhyme. Huzzah. Here we go. Indigestion. Cute that they even write it in. That's how you're supposed to say it. Not indigestion, but indigestion. Which maybe just they want the kids to sing it like that. Maybe they are giving a nod to the accent that they want utilized. Hard to say. Indigestion. And the way that gestion falls really works with question as that parallel. Right? Then we return to our A. Food, glorious food. We're anxious to try it. Do these kids know the word anxious? I'm not convinced. But the idea that they're anxious to try it really gives you a sense of what it is that they have been consuming all their life. 3 banquets a day. Our favorite diet. So we're rhyming not food with anything this time around. So our second A only has the one rhyme in it, and it's try it with diet. I feel okay about that, right? Diet was a word utilized at the time. It meant something different from how we use it today. Now we get our B prime, which has to land us all the way back around and, again, reminds us of that thing that we all hear parodied all the time. Just picture a great big steak, fried, roasted, or stewed. I can buy those lyrics. Just picture a great big steak, fried, roasted, or stewed. Ah, that's why we didn't rhyme food in the second A, because we're going to rhyme food at the end of the B prime as we wrap this back around. Oh, food, wonderful food, marvelous food, glorious food. So wonderful, marvelous, glorious. Ah, lovely. These children are dreaming, and the dream has grown so big that they stay up top, yada-da-tum, instead of coming back down, right? It's lovely. It's great. We love it. Is the lyric buyable? Maybe. Maybe. I think, for my money, and you'll see a little bit more evidence of this as we go along, it's less buyable for these children than it is like, oh, you're introducing me to the language of the world. Right? This song being truly the opening number has to do a lot of work. Even though we're not going to live in the world of the orphanage itself for very long, it's introducing us to what exactly the poverty is going to feel like and look like, what kind of scarcity there is in the world, how down on their luck these children are, which is important to the plot, obviously, and to Oliver's life in general, and the treatment of children, especially poor children, by adults, which is not great. It's quite abusive and manipulative, right? And we also get the sense that there's a lift. There's always a dream of something else, something better. And then musically, we're getting the sense of everything is, of course, within a world we're going to recognize, but maybe with a twist or two, right? So, what does that mean for us? It means that this is less about establishing the children and their language, right? This is really more about the world, which means that I'm not sure I do indeed buy the lyric, but we'll get there as we go along. I'm going to take a sip of water. Then we'll continue as we go into our March feeling. If you're just joining, don't forget, feel free to ask questions or give reflections in the comments as we go along. So we just finished that glorious food. Ah, don't we love a nice... Oh, we're going to do a March feel now, right? Right? It makes so much sense. It pulls the ear. We know what we're about to do. It's great. Now we're into, instead, it's going to be the same basic idea, but we're going to break down the chords a little bit more. We're going to have a bass line that does something interesting, something funky and fun. So our next chorus goes like this. Food, glorious food, what is there more handsome? Gulped, swallowed, or chewed, still worth a king's ransom. What is it we dream about? What brings on a sigh? Piled peaches and cream about 6 feet high. Food, glorious food, eat right through the menu. Just loosen your belt 2 inches and then you work up a new appetite in this interlude. Then food, once again food, fabulous food, glorious food. And then we're going to do it one more time in a new key, because key change. Hello, it's a musicale. Alright, what do we got here? Let's talk about the music real fast. Same basic idea, right? We're going to break these chords down. Obviously, I can't play all the instrumental. The instruments are playing along with the melody to an extent, and with a little bit more of the chord. There's some harmony in there as well. So to the point where you really get this. Right? Da, 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 da. Right? It's with the melody there. But what do we have going on? Bass line. It's pulling our ear. Even though we know what's going to happen, we know where we're going in terms of actual chord progression, there's something about the way that this bass line is taking the ear and pulling us forward that is actually very helpful and keeps us feeling light, despite the fact that it's really quite a depressing little scene, right? This dun 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 dun. Ooh, I can hit that. That's impressive. Dun dun. Then we have dun 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 dun. So that's providing us that circular idea, just doing it a different way, right? It's da 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 da, right? Which also provides a little bit of extra bounce, a little bit of extra fun. So we are changing where the root of the chord is from the first time, only occasionally, but it provides a little more whimsy, right? A nice reminder that it's not going to be a depressing show, folks. Maybe about poverty and abuse and terrible times in human history, but we're going to have fun doing it. Right? Okay, so we get a little bit of that. That continues all the way through the B section to this. So hopefully you can hear that coming through. Then when we get to our B prime, same thing. It doesn't really help with the lift a ton. It kind of keeps it circular as the chords do the lift and the melody does the lift here. This one. It's just to give that circular motion. We're lifting, but we're gonna come right back down. Yeah, great. So, which is very similar to that from the beginning. If you remember anything happening different with the melody? No, so let's chat about the lyric. Food, glorious food. All right, I'm gonna say they do a great job of scanning the lyric perfectly in terms of rhyme placement and. Rhyme placement. So, food, glorious food. What is there more handsome? What is there more handsome? That doesn't scan nicely on the melody. That's hard to hear. What is there more handsome? Gulped. Gulped, which is on the longer note. It's not shortened to a quarter note. There's nothing on it that says, don't hold this. So gulped, swallowed. Obviously we can't do that. We'd never understand, right? So gulped, swallowed, or chewed. Okay, chewed is going to be our rhyme. Great, love it. Gulped, swallowed, or chewed, still worth a king's ransom. King's ransom. In rhythm, that is, still worth a king's ransom. You can kind of understand it, right? Ransom with handsome. Okay, I can buy it. Not the best. Not the easiest to sing, not the easiest to hear. What is it we dream about? What brings on a... Now here's a stickler. Sigh. I've heard this done two ways. The other way I don't love. The way I just did it with the melisma. That is when we connect two notes on one syllable. Sigh, sigh, right? Two notes. Brings on a sigh. I've also heard this done leaning into a very hard, super Cockney accent. Sigh. Don't love that. Wouldn't recommend it, but could be done. What did we have the first time around, though? Were there two notes there? Or, excuse me, two syllables there? Yes, there were. That was where question fell. This time, we don't get it. We get one syllable. Why? I don't buy it. Sigh, piled peaches and cream about. Again, hard to hear the lyric the way it falls. Piled peaches and cream about. Piled peaches and cream about. No, oh, we're continuing over the mini phrase? Got it. Cream about 6 feet high. I don't know. I think we could have done better with that, right? And things are beginning to feel a little more vague. At this point, I'd love more specifics. But I feel like we were more specific in the first chorus, right? We got some great imagery going on. Not that King's Ransom isn't a good image. Not that Piled Peaches 6 feet high isn't a good image. But the way the lyric is falling on the music now, I don't know that it's really coming through as intended. Not gonna lie, I saw this show a few times when I was on the younger side, and I could tell you pretty much no lyrics of this song at all. Except for food, glorious food. Yeah, zumba. That's pretty much it. Which goes back to our central question of, is the melody enough? Is that enough to chew on? My apologies for the food language. Then we get back to here in our second A. Food, glorious food. Remember, we're not going to rhyme food this time around. We're going to come back to that rhyme in the B prime. Eat right through the menu. Okay. So these children know of menu's existence. I can buy that a lot more than the orcs knowing about menus in The Lord of the Rings, for anyone who is nerdy enough to know what I'm referencing. Just loosen your belt. They've probably never worn belts, but, what's his name? Bumble? Mr. Bumble? is a rounder man, and probably have seen him loosen his belt as he eats a lot. 2 inches and then you. Okay, so once again we're carrying our lyrical phrase across the musical phrases. We didn't do that at all in the beginning of the song. So this is our second time now, and that's to get the rhyme on menu then you. It's okay. 2 inches and then you work up a new appetite. Wait a second. Wasn't there a rhyme there the first time around? No. Not till stewed. Got it. Great. It's like, wait a second, hold on. Did we change things? I didn't think it changed things. Work up a new appetite in this interlude. What is this interlude? Wait, hold on. So that whole section says just loosen your belt 2 inches and then you work up an appetite in this interlude. Then food. I don't know. Does that logic follow? Do we care? That's a question. Do we care? Or are dancing, singing children enough? Clearly they were resting their laurels on dancing, singing children. It's fine. It was the 60s. We get it. Then food, once again food, fabulous food, glorious food. Okay, so new word, fabulous, and then we also have the first time we're breaking that down into something other than a 3-syllable word, once again. Okay, fine. But we're going to change keys and do it again because it's a musical. Whew. Alright, before we do that though, another sip of water. Also, friends, if you like nerdy things like this, please come join us in the Musical Theater Writing Collective. We talk about this sort of stuff all the time, not just in songs that exist in the canon, but we love breaking down the work that we're writing. And I love when people pull back the curtain on, like, here's why I did this thing, because it connects to this thing, which means this thing. I'm like, yes, tell me more. I love knowing that stuff. Super nerdy. Oh, but before I forget to mention this, the next round, I think I called it round 5 the other day. I lied. It's round 4 of the Did It accountability group that I run. It starts this coming Thursday, October 19th. This is 2023 for any of you watching at a later date. October 19th, 2023. It's a 6-week accountability program where essentially, because all of you have goals and I really like helping people accomplish goals, like that's one of my natural strong suits, I have this group available for people who want to power through things. The fall is a great time, especially before the holiday craze kicks in, for us to take things that we want to make happen before the end of the year and make them happen. So the way that this 6 weeks would work is October 19th through November 21st. That's for any of you living here in America. That would be getting this goal accomplished in 6 weeks before Thanksgiving, so before the holidays. So that program is coming up. Please feel free to reach out and ask questions about how it works. It's really lovely. We hold each other accountable, yes, but always through a lens of support and help. I help people. We have a one-on-one. I help you break down your goal into 6 weeks. We make it feel doable, but like a challenge. There are stretch goals. And then we meet once a week for 6 weeks, and we, see how it feels, see how it goes. We've had some beautiful, wonderful pieces of work made in this group, including a full libretto, new music, a lot of new music. People have learned new skills in our time together. So, if you're interested, let me know. I'll put a link in the description below. Didn't want to forget to mention it, though. All right. Final chorus. Key change. Just up a half step, not going too far. The music's really not going to do much different at all until the very end, so let's just go for it. We have food, glorious food, don't care what it looks like, burned, underdone, crude, don't care what the cook's like. Just want to point out there are 5 flats, it's not my favorite. Just thinking of growing fat, our senses go reeling. the song. Neat. Like I said, the music doesn't change till the end, and we'll talk about that in a hot sec. Food, glorious food. Don't care what it looks like. Burnt, underdone, crude? Underdone. Okay. Burnt, underdone, crude. Don't care what the cook's like. Silly rhyme, but I'll take it. That's fun. Just thinking of growing fat, our senses go reeling. One moment of knowing that full up feeling. Our senses go reeling. Don't buy children saying it. We've talked about this already. Food, glorious food. What we wouldn't give for that extra bit more. So we're getting that for more. Then we're going to hit the word for again. That's all that we live for. So we have give for and live for. That's the technical rhyme though. But we're also getting that or on more. That's that extra bit more. That's all that we live for. Okay, we're adding to the assonance. Why not? Why should we be fated to? Even making that fated to would be more understandable, being written that way. I find that one a little weird. Why should we be fated to do nothing but brood on food? Again, I don't think I need to say it. I think you get it now, right? But now we have this ending. Food. Magical food. Wonderful food. Marvelous food. Fabulous food. Beautiful food. Glorious food. So we get 6 of them in a row at the end. They're all these 3-syllable words to come with it. We're getting magical and beautiful for the first time. Great additions, right? Magical, wonderful, marvelous, fabulous. Getting the us, and then we get an us. Beautiful, glorious. So that's kind of fun, too. And what are we doing musically? Well, these children are skrelting in the stratosphere. These poor, poor children. That's an F. And then it's a high A flat. It's a lot to ask of a child. I will say, it's not just the children, and there's more. The ensemble singing backstage, it gets covered. But it is an odd choice. I don't think we were thinking about the registration of children at that time, at least when this particular song was written. So anyway, we have food. We have magical food. We've done this before, this chord, but now we're going to go back and forth between here and here. That's all we're changing. We're lowering the 5th to here, and that's back and forth. Magical food, wonderful food, marvelous food, fabulous food, beautiful food. Great. Now we have our glorious food. So we're doing that half-step rise that we did before, but we're gonna stay on the thing we're rising to, which at this point is the tonic, right? We're starting on our minor 7. Technically, we're starting on our 5, and then we're jumping up to our minor 7. And then we're going to end it there. Cycling us all the way back around to the root, as we have done time and time again. Well, except for the voices, which are up here on the 5th. And that is a change. That's the first time that we really do that. And that, my friends, that's Food, Glorious Food. Ain't it fun? It's a neat little number. Does it have some lyrical problems? Potentially. I think so. Not everyone's going to agree with that, and that's okay. The main problem I have is not that the lyric doesn't sound like it's coming from children. That's okay. That's fine. We're setting up a world here. I get it to an extent. I really, really do. And especially, you're giving me tight rhymes for the most part, but you're keeping the rhyme scheme there. Most of the scansion works. My bigger problem is that some of it, because of the way that the words fall on the melody, or because the lyrical line is trying to extend beyond a musical phrase, that's where we lose some of the clarity. We lose some of the storytelling. And for my money, that's when we have problems. So, Does this song rely fully on its melody? No. Does the music do a great job? Yeah. What about the lyric? Do you walk away knowing this lyric? Or do you just have ba ba da 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 with Food Glorious Food just playing on repeat because it is a circle? And if you're gonna give me a circle of a catchy melody, you better give me something to latch on to. Is my personal feeling. Please feel free to disagree. But that's it. That's food. That's Food Glorious Food. We did it. We're there. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm going to take a sip of water here. We're going to move into some Ask Me Anything moments. So if you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to pop them in the chat. I will pause because I know there's a slight delay. And yeah, then we'll go from there. If there's nothing for today, we'll hop off and, you know, I'll see you on the next live stream. Either way, I do appreciate you all being here live with me, and for all of you on the replay for watching and watching this far. I know it's a very nerdy little breakdown of a song that is not terribly complicated. It's interesting. I think it does a lot of stuff, but I wouldn't call it terribly complicated. I think a lot of group numbers aren't in the classical canon, which might be to the advantage of the classical canon. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I'd have to write a dissertation on that first. But hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. I like this show. Musically. I don't know that I love the book, but I love the music. Alright, doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. I'll give it another few seconds and then we'll go from there. Again, I will repeat to you, if you have specific songs that you'd like me to break down, please send them my way. You know how to find me. Toss me a comment. Go to my website, michaelraddy.com. That's R-A-D-I. You can email me through there. Yeah, I'm always happy to interact with all of you and provide what you're looking for. Alright, well, doesn't look like we have any questions today. And that's just fine. So, my friends, thank you once again for joining me on a lovely little live stream moment, and I hope that the rest of your weekend goes wonderfully. I hope that you are finding the education in the community that you need and you're looking for, and if you don't have that, you know where to find me. We are very welcoming at the Musical Theater Writing Collective. Alright, my friends, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!